Rolling. Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Andy Savage, back with another episode of the Wormhole Podcast. I'm here with my boy, Pinky. What's happening, dog?
Not shit, y'all. What's good?
And
What does it do?
we are here today. We're going to talk about the Mothman, motherfuckers. We've been talking about that last week. Do a little bit of an article read on it. Shoot the shit about it, see what our thoughts are, and see what y'all's thoughts are.
Yeah, the Mothman. So spooky, scary. Flying in the sky. Big old guy.
So anybody, if you're not familiar with the Mothman was essentially a cryptid that was thought to be seen in the 60s. They said it had red glowing eyes, looked like a giant moth. They said that it was like a symbol of impeding doom. So many people had seen this before a bridge collapse, and they also seen it before a different disaster. We'll read about that today. And people would say that like when they seen it, it was like the telltale sign of these disasters about to happen.
It was a prophecy.
Yeah, prophecy, like the Mothman prophecies with Richard Gere. That's the guy that put a gerbil in his ass. Did you know that?
I never heard that.
Yeah,
shit.
so
Anytime I've ever heard about anybody putting a gerbil in their ass, I've always just brushed it off and assumed like, somebody made that shit up to defame you or some shit.
So
Who does that?
I wasn't
Why?
there. I don't know Richard Gere, right? But legend says that he put a PVC pipe in his ass and they fed a gerbil into his body, and that's what his kink was. He liked having gerbils put in his ass.
I mean, I've heard of it. That is a thing.
Well, the wormhole's going to do a little bit more investigation. Yeah, we're not talking about gerbils in the ass today. We're talking about the Mothman.
We're talking about the Mothman.
All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a large humanoid creature called the Mothman was sighted decades ago by two young couples who fled the dark woods in terror. On November 15, 1966, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette reportedly saw a large flying man with 10-foot wings and glowing red eyes when they were driving along State Route 62 just north of Point Pleasant. They saw a menacing figure standing 6 to 7 feet tall near an abandoned National Guard armory building and power plant. Panicking, Roger Scarberry immediately sped away from the large gray creature, making their way to Point Pleasant while the cryptid followed. When they arrived in Point Pleasant, they reported a strange sighting to the police, stating the thing rose up like a helicopter. Though saying it was a clumsy runner, it excelled in gliding, easily keeping pace even as the car reached 100 miles per hour. So they went to the police and told them we were doing 100 trying to get away from this thing?
Yeah, they snitched on themselves.
Snitching on themselves. Dry snitching.
It's wild, though. It was 4 people, I believe, that all showed up all together who seen this. And the police officer took them all completely seriously, which you would probably never get that treatment with a story like that anywhere else.
Yeah, especially not nowadays.
Yeah, especially nowadays. But it just so happened that this particular police officer had heard other accounts that were very similar, in the past and stuff like that. So he was kind of desensitized to the whole idea and believed it. So.
Yeah. It says the couples had seen this bizarre creature dubbed the Mothman in the TNT area. It was called the TNT area because during World War II, that region comprising more than 8,000 acres was devoted to an ammunition manufacturing facility that employed a few thousand people at its peak. For safety reasons, the explosives were stored in bunkers, strategically scattered across the territory and disguised by a thick layer of earth. After the war, the facility and the area were mostly abandoned by the military and partly converted into wildlife management areas. and partly a landfill. The Point Pleasant Register reported the unusual sighting on November 16th, 1966, titled Couples See Man-Sized Bird, Creature, Something. The national press soon picked up the reports and helped spread the story across the United States. As more reports were made in the next few days, 2 volunteer firefighters who saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. And when contractor Newell Partridge saw the cryptid and aimed a flashlight at the creature in a nearby field, he said its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. The Mason County Sheriff George Johnson commented that he believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron he called a shit poke. Wildlife biologist Robert L. Smith, a wildlife biologist at West Virginia University, told reporters that the descriptions and sightings fit a sandhill crane, a large American crane almost as tall as a man with a 7-foot wingspan, featuring reddish coloring around the eyes. Because this crane was not native to the region, he hypothesized that the bird may have wandered out of its migration route. And over the following year, people continued to see mysterious Mothmen around Point Pleasant.
Who wants to hear all that fucking bullshit, that bullshit explanations and shit like that? Oh, y'all are just seeing this bird, you know? Yeah. It's just not normal to our region. It's a foreigner. You never seen it before. That's why it's so shocking to you. Fucking who even wants to hear all that fucking bullshit?
Fake news.
Yeah, it's fake news.
It's fake. Fake news. First off, anybody that knows birds and their migration routes, they don't steer off them motherfuckers. You're not just going to have some random 7-foot bird that bumbled into your fucking neighborhood like, oh, hey, I'm actually not even supposed to be in this state. What y'all doing? Like, get the fuck
gigantic with glowing red eyes, fucking harassing people at night and shit like that. Like, no, get the fuck out of here.
No way.
The thing is if it can't be explained by science, you know, they're gonna try their best to explain it with science. You know,
I mean, I am not like a flat earther or anything like that. I do believe in science for the most part, because what the fuck else am I supposed to believe in? But I don't know, man. Even science is just a bunch of educated people agreeing on something. There's no proof that anything is anything without, you know, like the divine creator saying, hey, yeah, you got it right? You know what I mean? Like, it's all theory and hypothesis. It's not everything in science is there's nothing that's concrete fact. There's just concrete agreements that this is fact.
Depends on how you look at it, because it does take a long time for a theory to become a fact, you know, even though if the theory has proven itself correct, you know, time and time again, it takes a while before science accepts something as, you know, like, we're going to put it in the book. It's solid.
Well,
it's just for us to better understand. Yeah, it's all man-made.
Yeah.
You know, it's all humans made this. So, you know, how right can it be? But it's to the best of our knowledge. It's all to the best of our knowledge, and anything that's like proven itself beyond a theory it's taken as fact. I agree with it all.
For sure.
But then there's a lot of things that the science hasn't explored enough or hasn't looked into hard enough, you know, like the supernatural and stuff like that, and like, you know, the unexplained things.
Yeah.
There's you know, even if you don't want to talk about supernatural, just the energy bind between human beings and stuff like that, you know, the cosmic bind of energy and all that stuff, you know, just like how when a person walks into a room, you can feel that they're in a bad mood or something like that, even if their body language isn't necessarily putting that off. You know, if it's somebody you know really well, you can feel it. You know, there's levels of energy and stuff like that that science doesn't recognize, I believe. As far as I know, I haven't ever heard of science really studying these things deeply. It's pretty much just considered like, oh, ghosts and stuff like that. You know, like, well, you must have been experiencing some type of psychosis or some shit like that. And it was all in your head. You know,
Oh,
nothing. It wasn't really happening.
yo, there's definitely scientists that are researching this. The University of California at Berkeley has tons of crazy fucking programs where they have scientists working daily on everything from like this kind of stuff, supernatural, string theory stuff, different dimensions, time travel. Like they have scientists that are like studying all types of crazy shit, drugs, you know.
Well,
Fucking,
yeah, medicine.
and there's nothing about it. They're taking DMT and trying to figure out why they're tripping, you know. I was like, man, that sounds like a pretty cool job to me. Let's just take DMT and then write it down. I'll be the test dummy.
Fuck that. Not for me.
Have you ever done that?
My full-time job is wait, be a test subject?
No,
for pay?
DMT.
Oh,
Go try it. I'm interested. Any listener that wants to send it to me, we'll talk on the email. Hit me up.
Yeah. Send it to us. Send it to us in its original packaging so that we can read straight from the FDA. Dimethyltryptamine. All right, that's our shit.
That's what we're looking for.
No torn fucking labels or anything like that. Nothing whited out.
Yeah.
Send us the real shit from the government.
I want no boof pack.
No goof pack.
So,
never heard that one.
It says an estimated of 100 reports. Some claim sightings connected with UFOs, and other claim that a military storage site was Mothman's home. According to competing theories, Mothman emerged from either the depths of hell or the upper echelons of space. Others said the Mothman attacked the roofs of parked cars, lurked outside of homes, chased cars, and stole pet dogs. The sightings continued until the Silver Bridge carrying U.S. Route 35 over the Ohio River between Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and Gallipolis, Ohio. It collapsed on December 15th of 1967, collapsing under the weight of rush hour traffic, killing 46 people. The bridge was carrying much heavier loads than it had originally been designed for and had been poorly maintained. The collapse was caused by the failure of a single eye-bar on a suspension chain. However, afterwards, people began to claim that they had seen the Mothman standing on the bridge the day before, possibly as an omen of the disaster to come. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's pretty cool that, you know, there's so many different accounts. So, like, with so many different reports of this, like, and it wasn't like it spread like wildfire. It wasn't like these reports came after a news article. These reports were kind of just, like, flooding in.
Yeah, trickling into the police before the media even got a hold of it. So by the time the media did get a hold of it, there was already plenty of accounts of it. And, of course, plenty more pouring in. I do believe that, you know, this Mothman thing did exist. There was something that everybody was seeing and all that stuff. It completely stopped right after that disaster on the bridge. But it's funny, though. You know, people say that, like, oh, the whole the Mothman being there was he was like some sort of prophet of what was to come. You know, because that was a mass casualty fucking moment. And but it's funny because, like, if he was. And another point to make is a lot of the people who died on that bridge were people who had made accounts, had seen the Mothman, like, in their dreams and stuff like that. Like, the Mothman was trying to tell them something. A lot of the people who died on those bridges had encounters with the Mothman. So they try to say that, oh, he was trying to prophesize. He was trying to tell them, you know, go ahead. But as you heard in the article, Mothman was just going around fucking terrorizing the neighborhood and shit, fucking scaring people and shit, instead of saying, hey, there's going to be a big catastrophic moment on that bridge is going to go down, shut it down. It would have been that simple, and he could have, like, been a real prophet and stopped it from happening. So it's kind of just like a goofy ass moment, and it just leaves you to wonder, like, what was his presence? What did his what was this? Was he there because this was going to happen, or did this happen because he was there, or something like that? Because like how they said it was a single failed I-beam, and I guess that I-beam had a crack forming in it that had taken decades. That crack had been there for decades, just getting worse and worse and more decayed until it finally snapped and gave way. And given the design of that particular bridge, all it took was that one I-beam to go out to take down the entire freaking bridge. And I believe it was because in place of on a typical bridge of that particular design, it was usually really thick freaking, what do they call that? Not cord, freaking cables. Yeah, really thick cables that did the job, and they replaced the job of the cables with I-beams, and that's what had like made it less structurally sound. So yeah, so it's like I think that like the bridge was gonna malfunction. It was gonna fucking take out a whole bunch of people. So that would be okay. So the Mothman was there because of that bridge thing. But what was its purpose? To terrorize the town up until that moment. It's kind of goofy, you know. So the whole.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially with like the idea of a prophet and a prophecy, with the historically speaking, our prophets were just so much more prolific, like Jesus Christ and Muhammad and Buddha, all of these like real well-known prophets. And the fact that like you would even categorize the Mothman as being a prophet is just crazy. And then also like where were they at? Oh, when they talked about the bridge collapsing, actually as a monument in memorandum of this bridge collapse, they have a giant Mothman statue in town.
They should.
And they do in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. But like, how funny is that? That like, this myth is what they're remembering this catastrophic event by. When 48 people were killed, they're like, hey, look at this big ass moth statue.
It is crazy, but I think that it makes 100% sense. If anybody, even whether you came from a small town or the city or something, had went through that very same experience, right at the front of any time that they think about that bridge collapse, and they're going to think of the Mothman. That's going to be the first fucking thing that they think of, before the casualties and all that stuff, just like that fucking thing that was terrorizing the town, it was there. Did it do this shit? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I think the cult following behind Mothman is pretty cool. There's huge merch lines. I mean, you just Google Mothman and you'll just see tons of stuff, tons of following. But I think Mothman, it's just really one of the most well-known cryptids. Besides Bigfoot. If you think of creatures that are unexplained that are said to exist.
Bigfoot's the biggest
you
one.
You think of, well, Loch Ness Monster, I would say. Bigfoot. You have the Jersey Devil. Remember that? Did you hear about that? Yeah, we'll talk about that one day. The Jersey Devil.
I've heard the Jersey Devil before, but I think it's a team or some shit.
Yeah, it is their team, but it's something that people thought they seen.
Like Chupacabra?
Yeah, literally like a little chupacabra running around in the woods out in New Jersey, and it's the Jersey Devil. The chupacabra, skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers, Slender Man.
Yep. Slender Man, the Tall Man. What else? They got
Jack Skellington.
Wendigos.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, Wendigos. There's a bunch of shit in like Appalachia that's not really defined by name, but there's a lot of different entities and spirits in Appalachia. Um, yeah, all types of crazy shit, man. And I don't know if you've seen that post I posted, but there was some interesting like hoodoo and voodoo ritual stuff I seen, and I was like, hey, it would be pretty fun for us to do a blog, and I'm gonna do that. There was a money ritual I seen where you take pennies and put it on four corners of the crossroads, and you call on like Legma or something like that, and you call on some like Haitian demon to like come give you money. Hey, Wormhole Podcast needs funding, so what I do for us, you know.
You can go ahead and play with all that juju. I'll stay far away from that. We'll do this remotely.
Come
just
on,
like
man.
This.
You're not gonna play Ouija boards in the fucking graveyard.
No, fuck all that. Nah. Because I believe in that stuff, you know.
There was a time where we were gonna do that.
You're not supposed to fucking open those doors, cross that border.
Well,
no, man. Like, all right, so I did my ghost hunting and all that stuff, but there was a lot of things that I hated about ghost hunting because I felt like they, first of all, weren't accurate, and second of all, were disturbing to something that we shouldn't be fucking with at all, and one of those things being like the spirit box. The spirit box, it's throwing out random ass shit, and every once in a while you can make a word out and stuff like that, and everybody in the room they're listening to the same fucking thing trying to make out words. So if you say, oh, did you just say Betty, they're gonna play back in their head and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, Betty. Everybody gets on the same page so fucking quick as to what this fucking thing's saying, and a lot of the times it's the first person who says something that that adds the validity to it. And so like I've been in sessions where people are asking like they want to talk to like their dead son and shit like that, somebody who's murdered. And this one time in particular, okay, so this woman wanted to contact her son who had been murdered. Actually, both of her sons had been murdered, but she wanted to speak to the most recent one. And they asked, got a hold of him or whatever. We were talking to him through the spirit box. And they asked him, who killed you and stuff like that? Who set this up? And the person who they were all suspecting, they all had the name in their head already, what they wanted to hear and shit like that. A few little noises came out of the fucking spirit box, and like, shit, that just said Susan. I fucking knew it, that fucking bitch. Like, it's putting ideas in people's heads, and they've been thinking that the whole time. Oh, his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend or whatever, girlfriend at the time, is the one who set it up for him to get murdered and shit like that. And they just started hearing things that they wanted to hear to solidify their own theories and stuff like that. And that spirit box is bad fucking news, man. What I think the fucking thing is doing is, and what it sounds like is, it's going through every fucking radio channel, just go over the next one. So every once in a while, it actually falls on a radio station that somebody's transmitting on. It'll only like play a little snippet of it. Sometimes it's an instrument, sometimes it's music and shit like that. You'll hear it, little snippets of it. But then every once in a while, it'll be like two channels line up where there's two different broadcasts on each fucking channel. So it'll almost sound like a word, a syllable of one word that the one person say, a syllable of another word. And then you start to hear, oh, I heard them say Benjamin, I heard this, I heard that. It's not really fucking that. It's just pieces of somebody saying something meshed in with somebody else saying something else, and just a little piece of it. You don't even get a full word from each fucking station that you go to. So yeah, spirit box, don't like it. Fucking those meters. What are they?
The ultramagnetic.
ultramagnetic frequency, yeah, fucking things. Those things go off in literally every fucking building that you
Right.
go
Yeah,
into.
sure.
So then what the fuck? They're all haunted. So are we using this as a tool? Like, hey, if we go somewhere and it doesn't go off at all, we can say for certain this place is not haunted, but fucking 9 out of 10 places are. Don't
Now,
like that
see,
fucking thing either.
that's why I would prefer to do something like that with you because we're not co-signers on each other's bullshit. You know, if anything, we're real. I've always, I'll always object if I'm like, nah, man, what the fuck? You didn't say that.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like we've never co-signed each other's bullshit. Like every encounter that we had
yeah.
for
That's
spelunking
true.
was real. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
like. So
We've
I
had
think,
moments where we've, had like experienced the very same thing. We weren't sure. You're like, hey, did you hear that? Like, oh, what did you hear? We'd always
yeah,
like, oh yeah, and then we'd sync up like, fuck yeah, that really did happen.
and like I don't want to do like a ghost hunt like at somebody's house. We're like, oh, it's haunted. Like, oh, I want to talk to somebody. Get the fuck out of here. If I go there with devices and shit, I'm just trying to like go explore somewhere that is rumored to have spirits and entities and just see what we can find.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to communicate. I don't want to bother them too much. I'll give them a medium to talk if they want to interact with us, but I'm not gonna sit there taunting a spirit. I don't want no fucking bad shit coming home with me either. But
I used to do that taunting stuff. The taunting stuff is the most
yeah, because we would taunt out of
entertaining.
fear. You'd taunt out of fear because
No, I
and
taught it to invoke. I wanted something to happen. Because I figured that's the way that it worked. You got to give it energy.
gotta
You
get
got
it
to give it some
mad.
energy to fucking eat. You got to get it mad. Yeah. But yeah, you're not supposed to fucking do that. That's bad.
Yeah, you don't want a poltergeist.
I had to learn that through experience.
Did
I started my ghost hunting thing, taking a few shots before each
yeah,
exploration.
a little liquid courage.
Yeah, well, a toast for the ghosts is what we call
You know,
it.
it's funny that you say a toast for the ghost because I have my Amazon list and it's called Ghost You Toast.
For all ghost hunting shit.
Yeah, for ghost hunting shit because I want to have like I just want to have the stuff. So like if we do end up
Hmm.
making a vlog, we got the stuff.
Fuck, man. We just need to find a place, dude. We hit it so good when we
Oh,
were in our.
I got this one cemetery that's supposed to be the most haunted one in the state.
Probably already went to it
I want
a
to
few times. I think I know exactly which one you're talking about. Oxable.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh yeah.
anything?
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. It's. I've seen videos of like cemeteries in Mexico at night and shit like that, and those are fucking haunted.
Yeah.
This one's It's pretty fucking mild. Maybe if you stayed the night and you didn't have a whole bunch of people with you, because we always went with a group. And I believe I've been there with maybe one other person at the least. It's never been by myself or nothing, though.
No, I mean, if we take any excursions, I feel like it should just be the wormhole crew right here, and just with cameras, and cameras mic'd up with some gear, and
Hmm.
just see what we see.
Yeah, and like my whole thing with like a paranormal activity, something actually happening. I feel that like even with houses or cemeteries and everything has to be perfect. Like the time of day or time of night, the moisture in the air. I don't know if it all comes down to that, but it's like certain conditions that have to be perfect in order for things to actually happen, for things to manifest as things that we can see or hear, or I think that the activity is always happening, but as for it to be powerful enough for it to cross into our realm,
I'm
everything's got
excited.
to be right.
I'm excited to test it out. And then I also seen like some cool like UV lights that I can put onto my Canon. So like when we're shooting video, it might catch some things that we can't necessarily see.
Hmm.
So I think that's what I'd really be looking forward to because because that's exactly what you are gonna see. You know, a spirit doesn't live inside of our light spectrum. That's why we don't just see it standing in front of us
Yeah, you can see a lot more through with the UV. Um, but yeah, you can still shit does come into our shit. You know, when it's more powerful. There's things that have been recorded on regular cameras and shit like that.
I've never seen anything where it's like it just looks like you standing in front of me though, like completely materialized being.
And nobody's sightings or anything. Anybody who's ever seen ghosts ever sees anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's always transparent. It's always like a very light existence.
I've never heard anything of like anyone getting killed by a ghost.
No, I've heard people getting pushed down the stairs and shit like that. I think that we don't hear very much about people getting killed by ghosts is because when it does happen, it's always some shit like that. Oh, they fell down the stairs or something, and now they're dead and they can't
Or they drowned.
or drown. Yeah, things like that. Things like that. I think that ghosts can hold somebody underwater or something like that. It's just got to be.
Just be like the weight on your chest that was just enough for you to not be able to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
I seen on the Ghost Hunter program. I can't remember. You know, it was like the main one back in the day. Like Ghost Hunters, was that what it
Ghost
was?
hunters, probably. Yeah.
So I think it was Ghost Hunters where they had the cam of like the ghost fucking trying to fuck the dude while he was sleeping. Did you see that one?
Oh, see, I don't like that shit either. It was the
The
connect
heat
thing, right?
signature, yeah, like
Yeah, where it maps out the shape of a body and stuff like that. You see the arms and the torso. I hate that thing too,
yeah.
man. It's just fucking picking up anomalies, like fucking digital anomalies, and making that shit. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like ghost hunting equipment it's only there to like make it looks like something's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's putting things that aren't really there.
It was
You know,
pretty.
like the
It was
spirit box.
pretty. It was pretty entertaining to see that little stick figure climb over and mount dude
I've
though,
yeah, I've
and
seen some funny ass. I've seen some funny ass ones, man. That little stick figure alone always looks hilarious as it starts to
yeah,
like bend. Now it's got one arm that looks normal, one that's stretched all the way across the room and shit.
you got fucking ectoplasm squirt all over your bed.
The UV light.
Oh man, speaking of the UV light, I had to fucking turn that bitch upward in the bedroom here. I had it pointing down, and I was like, "Yep, nope." It looked
What are
like
you doing, man?
a
Just
looked like
turning off of the bed and then
looked
just
like a goddamn murder scene. Like a motherfucker got popped in the head. Ain't no telling what that fucking was.
smashing the semen into
I'm
the
a
carpet.
I'm a rental, so I ain't no telling if that's mine, if that's somebody else's. Who knows, man?
Yeah, it could be somebody
I didn't
else's.
fucking steam clean these carpets when I got here, so man, I don't want to know. It's better to not see it.
Mm-hmm. Gross.
Yeah, gross. I don't think it's me because it ain't on my clothes and shit. And I don't just be like dumping loads on the carpet like I was fucking 10, you know. You
Yeah.
at least fucking use a napkin or a sock or take it to the toilet like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm. Or an old T-shirt, old O'Reilly's T-shirt, because you say "fuck this job."
Yeah, fuck this job. An old fucking Amazon t-shirt,
Low loads all over that T-shirt.
socks, fuck shoes.
Socks.
Sometimes
Ruined socks and you jack loads in socks.
your brother's shoes, Zach,
Oh,
Zapatas. Oh
oh, we gotta get him on the fucking podcast, man.
yeah, yeah. Sissing through
Mm.
space. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to
Where,
hear him
man?
going. He's like a Beyblade. Just it's gonna be
If we
great.
got any regular listeners already, I don't know, but
Yeah.
like, stay tuned for that shit. You're gonna hate it, but you're gonna love the way that we deal with it.
And we can talk as much shit as we want because he don't listen to these podcasts.
Yeah,
So
oh yeah, oh, I'd seriously fucking doubt it. He should, god damn it.
yeah,
This fucking homies fucking
he can't do.
talking about some real shit.
He don't do words without pictures.
No, he'd rather listen to some goofy ass fucking rap music. Goofy rap music that I'm sure a lot of y'all listen to too. But
Hey, bro, if you can listen to Ouija Mac, you can listen to this fucking podcast.
yeah, it seems that he's always got to listen to something. You know, if you're listening to the radio on your way to work or something, podcast is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you ain't a podcast type person, then whatever. But anything that my homies are doing, man. There's a dude that I used to work with at a job, and I wouldn't say that him and I were like super tight or nothing, but he's a rapper. And I wouldn't even say that I'm particularly into him, but I do recognize that he's got some talent and everything that he does, you know. I fucking check it out and I participate in it. I'm interested. I want to hear what he's doing. I don't understand how like everybody else isn't like that. You know, I figure that like maybe it's like something that's like within the artist community, but most artists are fucking snobs, man. Yep. They don't want to mingle and stuff like that. They'll be inspired by you, but a lot of them they won't admit that they were inspired by you.
Man, look, it costs nothing to just throw a follow on someone's page, like, share, subscribe. All these things are free.
Yeah, it's free. And if we get too fucking obnoxious, we're putting too many videos out there and all that, then fucking unfollow. It's you don't gotta fucking call us or visit us or nothing to fucking get our shit out of your face. It's
you don't gotta buy our merch, but the merch store is coming if you do want to buy our merch.
Yeah, fucking merch.
Yeah. You're gonna do
and that way you can bump into somebody out on a fucking camping trip, or you're at a fucking Indiana Beach amusement park, but hey bro, you listen to the Wormhole podcast? Yeah, me too. Those guys fucking suck. Yeah,
they fucking suck. That is
I agree.
Worst
Big
podcast.
old fist bump and you made a friend.
The worst podcast I've ever heard in my life. This is just absolute hot fucking garbage from our mouths to your ears, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. What is the worst podcast you've ever heard in your life? Can you think of that? Have you ever heard a really fucking bad one?
I don't know because I don't listen to our podcast because I make it. So
I mean anybody's podcast.
Just talking shit.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Hey, we're just starting out though. We're allowed to be the worst if we are.
I don't know. I've heard some pretty bad ones. Normally, it's like just things that are a little too nerdy for me, especially when they have like real nerdy voices.
And, yeah.
Or like, I don't want to offend. We'll say it off air how I really feel, but yeah, there's some people that are just. It seems like they're. I'm missing a chromosome or some shit, man. They're just fucking. I don't see a spark of intelligence. I just see like talking and nonsense. I don't feel anything. You know, that monotone deadness.
I know what you mean.
That I just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. So much of that just seems like garbage. And then also like when I was building these pages, you know. Thank God there was nobody that is the Wormhole podcast that's as good as us. There was a few people that tried using Wormhole stuff, and they'd have fucking 3 subscribers, 1 subscriber, no subscribers. Thank you. Thank you for sucking. Thank you for opening this door for me to where I can take it and run with it, and I don't got to fight people for my fucking usernames and URL codes.
Yeah, and none of them were ever big enough that they can say like, "Oh, you stole my following." They think that you're me or something like that. You know, like they didn't have a following.
They don't got motherfucking 2,000 followers and growing, bitch, like the Wormhole podcast. TWP, that's us, baby. We in this bitch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. It's been
fucking. It is. Oh.
Yeah. It's been dope talking about the Mothman. We're gonna get into a little bit more cryptid stuff, but I really want to get into some of our cool ghost stories, man, because we got a fucking bunch of them, and we got some pretty cool ghost experiences that both of us have had. That'll blow your fucking mind, man. Blow your goddamn balls off. So, till next time, y'all. It's been the Wormhole. Peace.
Bye.